ahí, Freddy. No se escucha nada. Ujú. ¿Qué pasa, gente? En Ashley from the game. The game is the game. I'm gonna watch Sherlock Holmes. The Awakened Remastered. Espero que esté bien el sonido. El que no sé. Ups. No sé por qué se me ha metido esto, pero bueno. Me está cogiendo el mando, no sé por qué. Vamos a empezar. Si, no sé si está bien el sonido o no, pero bueno, vamos a empezar un juego nuevo. Ah, vale. Se me olvidó darle el botón. Uy, me le he dado sin querer. Estoy fatal hoy, ¿eh? Las sombras sobre el hondo. Baker Street. Ahí donde vive Sherlock Holmes. No sé si se escucha bien el micrófono, si se escucha bajo, alto, o la música. Es que tiene más malaje para ponerlo.
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical?
Espérate que ponga el chat multi-stream, que si no, no te puedo leer.
My supper.
Plainly
Tiene
not,
malaje,
for I was the one who ate it.
Tener el monitor en este lado,
I
me
set
duele
it
el cuello y
aside
todo.
for this
Estoy
evening.
acostumbrada a tener
And
en el
for
otro.
that
Qué
I am
pena,
grateful.
contra.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed.
También.
Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today.
The postman. The postman. Pues me molesta el cable, chiquillo. Me tengo que acostumbrar otra vez. Watson, move your ass. Vamos a ver. ¿A dónde me puedo cambiar de ropa? No puedo cambiarme de ropa.
This mess is getting out of hand. What will the landlady think?
Vamos a ver. Mucho politiqueo.
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting.
As usual. Okay.
Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming. I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
No, a ver, tío. Ah, aquí me puedo cambiar la ropa. En el otro no, en el otro te iba al guardarropa. La gafita. Lo que tengo que mirar, a ver si lo puedo poner en español, ¿verdad? Porque... Ya no puedo cambiar. A ver, ¿por qué? Venga, vámonos. Doctor Watson. Nuestro primer caso. ¿Dónde está el periódico? Capullo. Joder. Difícil acostumbrarme, de estar mirando para arriba. Está lloviendo. Vale, vamos a ponernos un capotillo. Ahí está, vamos a ponernos el capotillo, ¿no? Windcoat. No, windcoat no. Cool and warm. A storm is coming. Este no. Venga, vamos a ponernos el capotillo. Ahora me tengo que poner un gorrillo y todo. De verdad. Vamos a ponernos el gorrillo como el que tiene papá. Ah, bueno. Que ya me he puesto un gorro. Bueno, ¿a dónde tenía que ir yo? Espérate. El periódico. ¿Para qué nos tenemos que montar, no? Me parece a mí. No. Ya vamos a empezar bien. Espérate un momento. Are in the dustbin.
A cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool.
También.
You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
Watson,
Get
tiro.
the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
Ah, aquí. Contra
Sorry,
otro
Mr.
delante.
Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Glassed. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson,
Cool, now I can take the day off.
did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. All right.
Escúchame, le tiene que
You earned your
preguntar
shilling. It'll be all.
al Ivan
Thanks, Mr. Holmes.
si
Maybe I could be your
la
eyes
torre
and
tiene
ears
un
if
optical
you
out.
have
Si
more
tiene un optical out,
shillings.
no hace falta comprar los cables del soundbar y puedo conectar el soundbar a esto y no vea cómo se va a escuchar.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of...
Aquí. Ahora tenemos que deducir. Vale. Who ruined the Strand? Pues
Come now, Mr. Holmes. Murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks, but he also has his scruples.
ahora tenemos que buscar el bookshop.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game.
Vamos a buscar la tienda de libros. Vale, mira a ver si puede preguntarle al Ivan. Aquí está, ¿no? Espérate, déjame ver. Ahí está. A ver si le pregunta al Ivan lo del optical cable. Si tiene para ponerlo el optical cable. Hello, Miss Bands.
Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona.
Tú, Mr. Bands. Bueno, espérate. Be right back. I will be right back. estoy para atrás. I'm back. A ver qué más. Vale. Ya. ¿Te queda algo más? Pues vale. Aquí está. Esa, Evis, venga, Cam Life.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
Escapado.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out.
Man.
The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
A ver. ¿Qué más hay por ahí?
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre.
Ok. Pues quiero cambiarle lo que no me deja de el audio. La verdad es que quiero cambiar lo que quisiera. Lo que quisiera ponerle es cambiarlo al inglés. Al español, perdón, no al inglés. Para ustedes, yo que sé hablar inglés y español, pero vamos. Espérate. Vale, espérate, que necesito más vídeo. A mí este Sherlock Holmes me gusta más porque es el estilo antiguo que el otro nuevo que hicieron. El otro nuevo que hicieron no lo jugué un poco, pero no me hizo mucha gracia. No sé por qué me gusta más este estilo al antiguo. El otro ya era... El otro tiene combate, yo qué sé, no me gusta. No sé por qué, pero no me gusta.
Basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
Mr. Bond.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Qué perrito más bonito. Qué perrito más bonito.
An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
Eso es lo que hago yo.
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents,
Así
it's a
como tengo
sign.
puesto yo mi bonito.
Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. The finest view London has to offer.
Buenísima. Buenísima. Dr. Watson.
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
Dr. Watson. Dr. Watson. No, que toque de afuera, no creo. He hablado con este. A la puerta también. Pero espérate. ¿Cómo trata esto? No?
Apologies. But I can't hear you. Please come back later.
Yo sé lo que tenemos que hacer. Deja a mí que se me ocurrió una idea. Hablar con la muchachita que está acá enfrente. Creo que hay que hablar con... Sí, ¿lo ves? Qué flores más bonitas.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
I wouldn't want to sit on that. Vamos a ver. No me gustaría sentarme en eso, pero bueno. Te lo tengo que comprar. Ah, en serio me toca gastar dinero ya.
The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
Creo que lo tengo que comprar, si no me equivoco.
A familiar spine? Is this what I found in my dustbin?
Suspicious. Sospechoso.
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
Tenemos que decidir si todavía está con el duelo de perder a una persona o está... Sí, yo creo que sí. Yo creo que sí. ¿Sabes, Miguel? Que todavía está en
My
duelo.
condolences, Mrs. Fleming.
Mr. Holmes?
Your husband's death. You're clearly still in mourning.
Oh, no. I loved him more than anything, of course, but that was some time ago
Ah, me
now.
equivoqué. Me
Life
cago
goes
en la
on.
leche.
A lesson we all learn.
Me
one way or
equivocó.
I'll be off.
El perrillo.
Hello there. What's your name?
Lily, I know. Not very original.
Her name is Lily. Lily. Pues vamos a ver si sacamos este tío del cuarto, que está encerrado ahí como un niño chico.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Barnes is gonna get out of the... Ya vamos a empezar. Madre de Dios. Acabo de empezar y no vea. Me encanta el arte, ¿eh? El arte de esto está guapísimo. Vamos. Después tenemos que coger otro. Documents and testimony. Ya, ahora mismo no. Ahora mismo no tenemos. Algo afuera no. Vamos a dejar afuera algo. Vamos a hablar con esta mujer otra vez. Vamos a hablar con esta mujer otra vez.
I'll be off.
Espérate, esto va a ir ahí. Va a ir ahí. Entonces, vamos.
I don't know anything about this, sorry.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I'd follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Ah, no, esto contra esto.
One of these things is not like the other.
Bien que no era.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
Have some water.
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy, so we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached, but since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
Vale, esos dos también. Me queda uno azul que está mal. No doy ni con una. Shush, wait. Claro, espera eso.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Mr. Barnes is hiding.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
Pues sal para afuera, asqueroso. Vamos a ver. Espérate.
I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled. You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus and your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper. Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
Vámonos.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But
It's brilliant. Let's go.
oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
Espérate un momento. Lo quiero poner. Vamos a guardarlo. Quiero cambiar el lenguaje porque si lo estáis viendo ustedes. Qué cosa más rara, ¿no? Si yo vi aquí. Lo pondré en español. Para que así ustedes podáis entenderlo. Si lo estáis viendo en español. Vale.
Stenwick is just down the street from Barnes's bookshop.
Lo pongo en español y aunque hable en inglés, pues ustedes lo leen en español.
Stenwick is just down the street from Barnes's bookshop.
¿A dónde?
Stenwick is just down the street from Barnes's bookshop.
Pues tú dirás, hijo mío.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
¿A dónde está? En la misma calle de la librería. ¿Vale? No me pierdo. Aquí.
Impressive stature, strong gaze. I think this man deserves a knighthood.
Really, Holmes?
Could you
How
help
can
me?
you be so sure?
Excuse me, what?
On rare
I'm
occasions,
not sure I know.
Watson, it can suffice to trust one's gut.
Me diré que esta era la mansión. No sé, miraremos por aquí. No, por ahí no.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I wish I could help you, but I don't know.
Are you able to help me?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Vamos a ver, no me puede decir dónde está la mansión.
Not much further now.
Esta puede ser que sea la mansión. Esta vez creo que sí.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony, then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
I take it this is the first time Kimahia has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Is there any reason Kimahia may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Did Kimahia make off
Sounds
with
like a
anything
dream.
of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. for security.
Tell me about Kimahir.
He's foreign, a Maori, all the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English, never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Muy bien. Bueno, vamos a guardar la partida. Y vamos a seguir con este caso mañana. ¿Está guardado? No sé por qué esto no se sale. A ver. Pues nada,